Listen to me very carefully. Right now, at this exact moment, there are two types of people in this world. There are those who make excuses, who blame the universe, who cry about their circumstances, who sit in their mediocrity and convince themselves they're comfortable. And then there are the unstoppable ones, the warriors, the champions, the ones who understand that deep inside their chest beats the heart of a winner. You need to decide right now which one you are. Because I'm not here to waste your time, and I'm certainly not here to coddle you. I'm here to wake you up. You think you're ordinary. You think you're average. That's the biggest lie you've ever been told. The winner within you isn't sleeping. It's not dormant. It's screaming. It's clawing at your ribcage trying to get out, and you've been suppressing it with Netflix, with comfort, with the opinions of broke people who've never done anything significant in their entire lives. You've been taught to be small. You've been conditioned to fit in. But let me tell you something that will change everything. You were never meant to fit in. You were built to dominate. Every single person who ever achieved anything meaningful was told they couldn't do it. Every billionaire, every champion, every legend was laughed at, doubted, mocked. Do you think that stopped them? Do you think they went home and cried? No, they used it as fuel. They turned that doubt into an unstoppable force. Because here's the truth that nobody wants to tell you: the world doesn't reward the timid. The world doesn't pay average. The universe bends to those who refuse to quit, who refuse to accept anything less than total victory. Stop asking for permission to be great. You don't need anyone's approval to win. Your mind is the most powerful weapon you possess. And right now, you're letting it work against you. You're programming yourself for failure every single day. Every time you hit the snooze button, you're training yourself to quit. Every time you skip the gym, you're teaching yourself that comfort is more important than growth. Every time you choose the easy path, you're building the neural pathways of a loser. Is that who you want to be? Because I'll tell you right now, winners don't think like that. Winners understand that every single decision either moves them closer to their goal or further away from it. There is no neutral. You're either building or you're destroying. The winner within you knows exactly what you need to do. It knows you need to wake up at 5 a.m. It knows you need to work when everyone else is sleeping. It knows you need to make the calls, send the emails, put in the hours that nobody sees. But you've been ignoring it. You've been choosing short-term pleasure over long-term glory. And that ends today, not tomorrow, not next Monday when you're ready, right now. The pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. You want to know what makes someone unstoppable? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not connections. It's the unwavering belief that failure is not an option. It's waking up every single day and declaring war on mediocrity. It's understanding that the universe is testing you constantly, and every obstacle is just asking you one question: how bad do you want it? Most people fail this test. They face one setback and they crumble. They hear one no and they quit. They try for 6 months, and when they don't see results, they convince themselves it wasn't meant to be. That's not you. That can't be you. Look at your life right now. Really look at it. Are you living like a champion, or are you living like a victim? Are you making decisions that your future self will thank you for, or are you betraying your potential every single day? Because here's what I know: 5 years from now, you're going to be somewhere. The question is, will you be proud of the person you became, or will you be filled with regret, wondering what could have been if you had just tried, if you had just believed, if you had just refused to quit? The winner within you doesn't need perfect conditions. It doesn't need everything to be aligned. It doesn't need to feel motivated. It just needs you to start, to move, to take action even when you're scared, even when you're tired, even when everyone around you thinks you're crazy. Because that's what separates the unstoppable from the stoppable. The unstoppable don't wait for permission. They don't wait for the right moment. They create the moment. You're one decision away from a completely different life. Every champion you admire went through hell to get where they are. They lost sleep. They sacrificed relationships. They invested money they didn't have. They believed in themselves when nobody else did. They pushed through the pain, the doubt, the fear. And on the other side of that suffering was glory, was freedom, was the life they always dreamed of. You think you can shortcut that process? You think you can have the results without the struggle? That's not how the universe works. The universe rewards the relentless. It pays those who refuse to negotiate with mediocrity. Right now, your competition is working. While you're watching this, while you're thinking about changing, someone else is doing. They're putting in the reps. They're making the sacrifices. They're becoming unstoppable. And in 6 months, in a year, in 5 years, they're going to be living the life you dreamed about, unless you decide right now that you're not going to let that happen. Unless you decide that the winner within you is no longer going to be suppressed. Listen to me very carefully, because what I'm about to tell you will either wake you up or you'll ignore it and continue living in mediocrity. Right now, at this exact moment, there is a version of you that exists beyond your current reality. This version isn't some fantasy or distant dream. It's real, it's powerful, and it's been trapped inside you your entire life, suffocating under layers of fear, self-doubt, and the poisonous opinions of people who have never achieved anything significant. You've been walking around with a lion inside your chest, but you've been living like a sheep. You've been conditioned to be small, to fit in, to not make waves, to accept average as acceptable. But here's the brutal truth that nobody wants to tell you. Average is a slow death. Mediocrity is a prison, and you're the only one holding the key. Every single morning you wake up, that winner inside you is screaming. It's not politely asking. It's not gently suggesting. It's clawing at your ribcage, demanding to be released. It sees the potential you're wasting. It feels the time you're squandering. It knows exactly what you're capable of, and it's enraged that you keep choosing comfort over conquest. You hit the snooze button, and it screams. You scroll through social media instead of working on your goals, and it pounds against your chest. You listen to the doubters, the critics, the people who say you can't do it, and that winner inside you is dying a little more each day. Here's what most people don't understand. You weren't accidentally placed on this earth. You weren't randomly given your specific combination of talents, passions, and desires. There's a reason you dream about more. There's a reason you feel restless when you're living beneath your potential. That's not anxiety. That's not confusion. That's the winner within you sending you a message, screaming at you to stop betraying your own greatness. You think successful people are different from you. You think champions are made of something special that you don't have. That's the biggest lie society ever sold you. The only difference between you and them is they refuse to cage their inner winner. They refuse to listen to the voices telling them to play it safe. They refuse to accept a life of quiet desperation. Right now, you're probably making excuses. You're probably thinking about all the reasons why you can't pursue your dreams. Not enough money, not enough time, not enough experience, not the right connections. Let me destroy that thinking immediately. Those aren't reasons, they're excuses, and excuses are the nails you use to build a house of failure. Every person who ever achieved anything meaningful faced the exact same obstacles you're facing. The difference is they didn't negotiate with their destiny. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't need everything to be perfect before they started. The winner within you doesn't care about your current circumstances. It doesn't care that you failed before. It doesn't care that people doubt you. It doesn't care that the path ahead looks impossible. It only cares about one thing. Are you finally ready to stop being a passenger in your own life and become the driver? Are you finally ready to stop suppressing your greatness and start expressing it? Because here's what I know with absolute certainty. The moment you decide to unleash that winner, the moment you stop apologizing for wanting more, the moment you commit fully to becoming who you're meant to be, the entire universe shifts, doors open, opportunities appear, people show up. But none of that happens while you're playing small. You've been living like you have unlimited time, like you can always start tomorrow. Like next year will somehow be easier than this year. That's a fantasy. That's a delusion. Every day you wait is a day you'll never get back. Every moment you spend suppressing the winner within you is a moment of your life you're throwing away. The champion inside you isn't getting stronger while you procrastinate. It's not patiently waiting. It's suffocating. And one day, if you continue ignoring it, it will stop screaming. It will accept defeat. And you'll spend the rest of your life wondering what could have been if you had just been brave enough to try. You need to understand something fundamental about how life works, something that will either transform you or terrify you depending on whether you're ready to hear the truth. Every single decision you make, from the moment you open your eyes in the morning to the moment you close them at night, is either moving you closer to the person you want to become or further away from it. There is no neutral ground. There is no middle territory where you can coast without consequence. You are either building the empire of your dreams or constructing the prison of your regrets. Every choice is a vote for the future version of yourself. And right now, you need to ask yourself, honestly, are you voting for a champion or are you voting for a victim? When that alarm goes off at 5 in the morning and you reach over to hit snooze, you think it's just 10 more minutes of sleep. But it's not. It's so much more than that. In that microsecond of decision, you're programming your subconscious mind. You're teaching yourself that comfort is more important than commitment. You're training your brain that when things get hard, when discipline is required, when excellence demands sacrifice, you fold. You quit. You choose the easy path. And your brain is listening. It's recording. It's learning that you're not serious about your goals. That snooze button isn't stealing 10 minutes from your day. It's stealing your future. Every time you skip the gym because you don't feel like it, you're not just missing a workout. You're reinforcing a neural pathway that says your feelings matter more than your goals. You're teaching yourself that temporary discomfort is more powerful than your long-term vision. You're building the identity of someone who quits when things get uncomfortable. And here's the devastating part. You think these small decisions don't matter. You tell yourself it's just one day. It's just one workout. It's just one moment of weakness. But champions understand something you don't. There are no small decisions. Every choice you make is either programming you for success or programming you for failure. Think about it. When you choose to eat that junk food instead of the meal you planned, you're not just consuming calories. You're training yourself to prioritize instant gratification over delayed gratification. When you scroll through social media instead of working on your business, you're not just wasting time. You're conditioning your mind to seek easy dopamine hits instead of doing the hard work that creates real results. When you stay up late binge, watching shows instead of getting the sleep you need, you're not just tired the next day. You're teaching yourself that entertainment is more valuable than your energy, your focus, your potential. Your brain doesn't distinguish between big decisions and small decisions. It simply records patterns. It creates habits. It builds the operating system that runs your life. And right now, if you're honest with yourself, you're probably running the software of mediocrity. You're executing the program of average. Every time you choose comfort over growth, every time you pick pleasure over progress, every time you select the path of least resistance, you're writing code that guarantees you'll never reach your full potential. You're literally becoming the sum of your daily decisions, and most people are making decisions that lead them straight into lives they hate. Winners operate differently. They understand that every decision is sacred. Every choice is significant. They don't negotiate with excellence. When the alarm goes off, they get up. Not because they feel motivated, not because they slept well, not because the conditions are perfect. They get up because they made a decision about who they are, and they honor that decision regardless of how they feel. When it's time to work, they work. When it's time to train, they train. When it's time to execute, they execute. Their feelings don't get a vote. Their comfort doesn't matter. Their only concern is, does this decision align with the champion I'm becoming? Here's what you need to burn into your consciousness right now. You are creating yourself with every choice you make. You're not discovering who you are. You're building who you are. And the brutal reality is that most people are building a version of themselves they're going to despise. They're constructing a future filled with regret, mediocrity, and the crushing weight of unfulfilled potential. Don't be most people. Let me tell you something that's going to shatter every comfortable illusion you've been hiding behind. The universe doesn't care about your potential. It doesn't care about your dreams. It doesn't care about your vision board or your goals list or all those motivational videos you watch at 2 in the morning when you can't sleep because deep down you know you're not living up to what you're capable of. The universe has one language, and that language is action. The universe rewards one type of person, and that person is relentless. Everything else is just noise. Everything else is just people talking about what they're going to do while others are out there actually doing it. You want to know why you're not where you want to be. It's not because you lack talent. It's not because you don't have the right connections. It's not because the system is rigged against you. It's because you're not relentless. You try for a few weeks, and when you don't see results, you quit. You work hard for a few months, and when obstacles appear, you fold. You push for a little while, and when people doubt you, you start doubting yourself. That's not how champions operate. That's not how empires are built. That's not how legends are made. Champions understand that the universe is constantly testing them, constantly asking them one question: how bad do you really want it? Most people fail this test within the first 30 days. They have a burst of motivation. They start strong, and then reality hits. The results don't come as fast as they expected. The work is harder than they imagined. The sacrifices are more painful than they anticipated. And they quit. They convince themselves it wasn't meant to be. They tell themselves they'll try something else. They rationalize their failure with 1,000 different excuses. But the universe isn't listening to excuses. The universe is watching your actions, and your actions just told the universe that you're not serious, that you're not committed, that you're not relentless. Here's the truth that separates the winners from the wannabes. Success doesn't come from sporadic effort. It doesn't come from working hard when you feel like it. It doesn't come from being consistent for a few weeks or a few months. Success comes from relentless, obsessive, unstoppable action over years, not days, not weeks, years. While everyone else is sleeping, you're working. While everyone else is partying, you're building. While everyone else is comfortable, you're suffering. And that suffering, that relentless pursuit, that refusal to quit even when every fiber of your being wants to give up, that's what the universe rewards. You think the billionaires you admire got lucky. You think the champions you worship just had it easier. That's a story losers tell themselves to feel better about their own mediocrity. Those people you admire went through absolute hell. They lost everything. They failed repeatedly. They were told no 1,000 times. They faced rejection, humiliation, bankruptcy, betrayal, and they kept going. They didn't slow down. They didn't take a break to find themselves. They didn't quit to preserve their comfort. They became relentless because they understood that the universe only bends to those who refuse to break. Every single person who achieved something significant did it through relentless action. They didn't wait for motivation. They didn't wait for inspiration. They didn't wait for the perfect conditions. They decided what they wanted, and then they executed every single day, regardless of how they felt, regardless of what obstacles appeared, regardless of who believed in them. They made their goals non-negotiable. They made their vision mandatory. They made their success inevitable through sheer force of will and relentless execution. Right now, while you're reading this, your competition is working. They're not scrolling. They're not relaxing. They're not waiting for Monday to start. They're executing. They're building. They're becoming relentless. And in 6 months, in a year, in 5 years, they're going to be living the life you dreamed about while you're still making plans, still waiting for the right moment, still hoping things will magically change. The universe doesn't reward hope. It doesn't reward wishes. It doesn't reward potential. It rewards relentless action. The question you need to answer right now is simple. Are you willing to become relentless? Or are you going to remain just another person who talks about what they're going to do someday? There are 2 types of pain in this world, and understanding the difference between them will either set you free or condemn you to a life of misery. The first type of pain is the pain of discipline. It's waking up when your body is screaming for more sleep. It's going to the gym when every muscle aches. It's working on your business when your friends are out having fun. It's saying no to distractions, pleasures, and comfort in pursuit of something greater. This pain is temporary. It's sharp. It's uncomfortable, but it's light. It weighs ounces. The second type of pain is the pain of regret. And let me tell you something about regret that nobody warns you about. It doesn't get lighter with time. It gets heavier. It compounds. It crushes you slowly day by day, year by year, until one day you wake up and realize you're living a life you hate because you were too afraid to embrace the temporary discomfort of discipline. You're standing at a crossroads right now, and you need to make a choice. You can choose the easy path today and suffer for the rest of your life, or you can choose the hard path today and live free tomorrow. Most people choose wrong. They choose comfort. They choose pleasure. They choose to sleep in, to skip the workout, to avoid the difficult conversations, to procrastinate on their dreams. And they think they're winning because in that moment it feels good. But they're not winning. They're losing in slow motion. They're trading their future for a few moments of present comfort. And that's the worst trade anyone can ever make. 5 years from now, you're going to be somewhere. That's not a maybe. That's a certainty. Time doesn't stop. Life doesn't pause. The question isn't whether you'll be somewhere 5 years from now. The question is, where will you be? Will you look back and be proud of the warrior you became? Or will you be haunted by the question that destroys millions of people? What if? What if I had just started? What if I had just tried? What if I had just pushed through the discomfort? That question, that brutal, soul-crushing what if, is the heaviest weight you'll ever carry. It's heavier than any dumbbell. It's heavier than any workload. It's heavier than any sacrifice. The pain of regret weighs tons, and once it settles on your shoulders, it never leaves. Right now, you have a choice. You can wake up early tomorrow, or you can hit snooze. You can go to the gym, or you can make an excuse. You can work on your business, or you can watch Netflix. You can have the difficult conversation, or you can avoid it. You can take the risk, or you can play it safe. And in the moment, the choice seems small. It seems insignificant, but it's not. Every time you choose comfort over discipline, you're not just making a decision for today. You're making a decision that affects the next 5 years, the next 10 years, the rest of your life. You're programming yourself. You're building patterns. You're creating the person you're going to become. Think about the people you know who are filled with regret. Think about the ones who constantly talk about what they could have been, what they should have done, what they would have achieved if only circumstances were different. Those people aren't victims of bad luck. They're victims of their own choices. They chose comfort in the moment, and now they're paying for it for the rest of their lives. They traded temporary discipline for permanent regret. And now they're trapped in a prison of their own making, watching other people live the lives they dreamed about. Here's what you need to understand with crystal clarity. Discipline is a gift you give to your future self. Every early morning, every hard workout, every hour spent building instead of consuming, every sacrifice you make today is an investment in the person you're becoming. Yes, it hurts in the moment. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it requires you to delay gratification and choose long-term vision over short-term pleasure. But that temporary discomfort is buying you freedom. It's buying you pride. It's buying you a life where you wake up every morning excited about who you are and what you're building instead of dreading another day of mediocrity. The universe is watching you right now. It's waiting to see what you choose. Are you going to embrace the light pain of discipline, or are you going to carry the crushing weight of regret? Because make no mistake, you will carry one of them. There is no third option. Choose wisely. Your belief is not just some abstract concept that motivational speakers talk about to make you feel good. Your belief is the most powerful force in your entire existence. It's the weapon that separates champions from failures, legends from nobodies, those who conquer from those who surrender. Everything you see in your reality right now, everything you've achieved or failed to achieve, started with what you believed was possible. Your bank account is a reflection of your belief. Your relationships are a reflection of your belief. Your health, your business, your entire life is nothing more than a physical manifestation of what you truly believe about yourself deep down in your core. And here's the brutal truth most people never accept. If you don't believe you're destined for greatness, you never will be. Before Muhammad Ali ever became the greatest, he was telling everyone he was the greatest. Before Conor McGregor ever held a championship belt, he was visualizing himself as a champion. Before every billionaire ever made their first million, they believed with unshakable certainty that they would be wealthy. They didn't hope. They didn't wish. They didn't cross their fingers and pray for luck. They knew. They believed it with such intensity, such conviction, such absolute certainty that their belief became their reality. That's not mystical nonsense. That's how the human mind works. Your beliefs create your thoughts. Your thoughts create your actions. Your actions create your results. and your results reinforce your beliefs. It's a cycle, and you're either in a success cycle or a failure cycle based entirely on what you believe about yourself. Right now, you need to ask yourself a serious question. Do you actually believe you're going to win? Not do you hope. Not do you wish. Do you believe it with the same certainty you believe the sun will rise tomorrow? Because if there's even a shadow of doubt, if there's even a whisper of uncertainty, you've already lost. Your subconscious mind can smell doubt from a mile away, and the moment it detects that you don't truly believe in yourself, it starts sabotaging you. It starts looking for evidence that you were right to doubt. It starts creating situations that confirm your negative beliefs. You'll procrastinate. You'll make mistakes. You'll find reasons why it won't work. And then you'll tell yourself you were right all along, that success wasn't meant for you, that other people have something you don't have. But here's what you're missing. Those other people don't have anything you don't have. They just believed when you doubted. They had unshakable faith when you had questions. They knew they would win when you were hoping you might. Belief isn't about being delusional. It's not about ignoring reality or pretending obstacles don't exist. Belief is about being so committed to your vision, so certain about your destination, that no obstacle, no setback, no failure can shake your conviction. It's about programming your mind for success with such intensity that failure becomes impossible because you simply refuse to accept it as an option. Every single person who achieved something extraordinary was told they couldn't do it. Every champion faced doubt from others. Every billionaire was laughed at. Every legend was dismissed. But here's the difference. They didn't internalize that doubt. They didn't make other people's limited beliefs their own. When someone said they couldn't do it, they heard it as noise. When people doubted them, they used it as fuel. When the world told them to be realistic, they decided to be exceptional instead. Their belief in themselves was stronger than anyone's doubt in them. And that's what carried them through every obstacle, every failure, every moment when quitting would have been easier. You think you're going to achieve your goals without absolute, unshakable belief. You're living in a fantasy. The path to success is filled with failure, rejection, criticism, and moments where everything seems impossible. If you don't have steel, reinforced belief in yourself, you'll quit the first time things get hard. You'll fold the first time someone tells you no. You'll give up the first time you fail. But if you have that unshakable belief, if you know without a doubt that you're destined for greatness, then every failure becomes a lesson. Every rejection becomes redirection. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity to prove how badly you want it. Your belief system is either your greatest asset or your biggest liability. It's either propelling you toward everything you want or keeping you trapped in everything you hate. Stop waiting for external validation. Stop looking for proof that you can do it. The proof comes after the belief, not before. You have to believe first, act second, and receive third. That's the order. That's how it works. Reverse that order, and you'll spend your entire life waiting for permission that will never come. You can have the best plan in the world. You can have the most detailed strategy. You can have notebooks filled with goals, vision boards covering your walls, and a library of self-help books on your shelf. But none of that means anything if you don't take action. Zero. The universe doesn't reward planners. It doesn't pay dreamers. It doesn't care about your intentions or your potential or how much you want something. The only currency the universe accepts is action. Massive, relentless, unstoppable action. Everything else is just mental masturbation. It's you lying to yourself, convincing yourself that you're making progress when really you're just procrastinating with extra steps. Here's what most people do. They spend weeks planning. They spend months preparing. They spend years waiting for the perfect moment, the right conditions, the ideal circumstances. They tell themselves they need more knowledge, more resources, more experience before they can start. And while they're waiting, while they're planning, while they're preparing, someone else with half their talent and a tenth of their knowledge is out there executing. They're making mistakes. They're failing forward. They're learning by doing. And in 2 years, that person who started messy and imperfect will be living the life the planner is still planning for. You need to understand something fundamental. Action creates clarity. You don't get clear by thinking. You get clear by doing. You don't figure out the path by sitting in your room visualizing. You figure it out by taking the first step, then the next step, then the next step. Every successful person you admire figured it out along the way. They didn't have all the answers when they started. They didn't know exactly how it would work out. They just moved. They just executed. They just took action even when they were terrified, even when they didn't feel ready, even when everyone around them thought they were crazy. Right now, you know exactly what you need to do. Stop lying to yourself. You know the call you need to make. You know the conversation you need to have. You know the project you need to start. You know the habits you need to change. You know the work you need to put in. The problem isn't that you don't know what to do. The problem is that you're not doing it. You're waiting, you're hesitating, you're overthinking. You're letting fear disguise itself as prudence, letting procrastination disguise itself as preparation. And every day you wait is a day you'll never get back. Your dreams don't care about your excuses. They don't care that you're tired. They don't care that you're scared. They don't care that the timing isn't perfect. Your goals are sitting there waiting for you to claim them, and they will wait forever if necessary because they're not going to chase you. You have to chase them. You have to hunt them down with relentless action. You have to execute so aggressively, so consistently, so obsessively that success becomes inevitable because you simply refuse to stop until you get what you want. Think about how much time you've wasted. How many hours have you spent scrolling through social media? How many days have you spent watching other people live their dreams on Netflix? How many months have you spent planning and preparing and waiting for the right moment? If you had taken action instead, if you had executed instead of hesitated, where would you be right now? How much further along would you be if you had just started a year ago? That's not meant to make you feel bad. That's meant to wake you up. Because you can't get that time back, but you can make a decision right now that changes everything moving forward. The difference between where you are and where you want to be isn't knowledge. It's not resources. It's not connections. It's action. It's execution. It's doing the work that nobody sees, making the calls that nobody applauds, putting in the hours that nobody acknowledges. Winners execute when they don't feel like it. They move when they're tired. They work when they're scared. They don't negotiate with their goals. They don't wait for motivation. They understand that motivation is a result of action, not a prerequisite for it. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting to feel ready. You will never feel ready. The fear will never go away. The obstacles will never disappear. But champions move anyway. They execute despite the fear. They take massive action in the face of uncertainty. And that's what separates them from everyone else who's still sitting around talking about what they're going to do someday. Someday is not a day of the week. It's a disease. It's the graveyard where dreams go to die. Execute now. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to turn off this video and you're going to take one action right now that moves you toward your goal. Not tomorrow, not later today, right now. Because talk is cheap. Planning is procrastination in disguise. The only thing that matters is action. Massive, relentless, unstoppable action. The winner within you has been waiting for this moment your entire life. It's been preparing. It's been building strength. And today is the day you unleash it. Today is the day you stop being ordinary and start being unstoppable. The world is waiting for you to step up. Your destiny is waiting for you to claim it. And I promise you this, when you finally commit, when you finally go all in, when you finally become unstoppable, you'll look back at this moment and realize this was the day everything changed. Now go, execute, dominate, win.